everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. Today we jump back into the combi again, hopefully going to try and get this engine sorted. So, end of last episode we got all the engine ready, we got the exhaust on, we got the manifolds on, we got tinware, everything all ready to go, but we do need the carburetors. So this episode we're going to jump into blowing the carburetors apart, putting them back together. They're a set of twin IDF 36s. So we're going to clean all those up, we're going to chuck them in ultrasonic cleaner, get them all nice and clean, and a nice long time lapse of it going back together with a few little bits of information chucked in there. And then we're going to try and get this engine in the car and then hopefully get a start on the rest of the stuff. So sit back and enjoy, and let's get into it. Here we go. All pulled apart. I did the other one off screen because you don't need to see it done twice. Got them both here, all ready to go in. I bought myself a nice little present, so I bought myself ultrasonic cleaner. So I have been playing with it a little bit with some other carbys and stuff that I've been mucking around to try and see what the best solution is to use. And I think I've come up with, I think, what works pretty well for me. So in the basket here, I'm going to load everything up and hopefully give it a clean and see what happens. And what we'll do, we'll chuck it on 70 degrees. It works pretty well. I think it helps with getting it all pretty clean. So on with that. I won't turn this bit on because then I won't be able to talk because it's really high pitched. So we'll chuck it on for 30 minutes. There's a whole big write-ups on YouTube and everywhere else on what to use and how to use it and stuff like that. I won't go into it, but let's give it a go. And there we go. Everything's nice and clean. This body, I ended up, it's a little bit darker than this one, just because I tried a few different treatments on it. This one had a bit of a build-up in the bowl here, which I ended up getting rid of with some lime remover, which works really well. CLR, if anyone else wants to know what I used. The two top hats, all the other bits and pieces. I was on these going to block off one of these as I just run it as a deadhead system, but I end up I'll just put a little hose on here with it blocked off anyway. Got my floats, my choke block offs, everything else. I ended up buying some jets and some emulsion tubes and everything else, which we'll get to in a little bit. Some new gasket kits, and everything's looking really good. So now I'm just going to chuck them all together, and hopefully we'll have some nice carbys that can go on the beautiful engine we put together, and hopefully soon we can get it running. we've got to make sure this is right. So when it's down like that, and we're going to like that, you got to make sure they match up, otherwise you just get way too much fuel or not enough. Yeah, 10 and 32. I apologise. So this is what we need. IDF series, we want 10 and 32.5. So I measured mine, and mine's at 31 and 8. So just give it a little bit of an adjustment. And 32.5, sorry. Oh no. I'm an idiot. These thread in here, and then these come through and thread in there. Idiot. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me over the noise of the lawnmower next door. But if you're having troubles with your carbys, big part is to set up this float. Like, if you mess up this piece and you have it too high or too low, you'll have so many issues. You'll never be able to get it running properly. And it could be as basic as you could have everything else perfect, but this messing you around, or this one is leaking, it's got fuel in it, so it's always staying down, so there's always fuel running in. Your car will just run like pus. So, if you are playing with carbys, step one of tuning is making sure this float is where you set it. You set it from this base of the carb being 0, and that corner or that bottom of that edge of the float as being the measurement you need, depending on what carbys you have. These are IDF 36s, they're the same as 40s and 44s. I think the same as 48s, but you'll have to double check. And so yeah, 10 there, and then when they're open it's 32.5. So big thing, I had a mate talk to me the other day about his BMW. He just cleaned all the carbs and was checking them all out and got them all running fine. And he couldn't tune it. He spent, I think, 4 or 5 days trying to tune it. And I talked to him and he adjusted his floats and like 80% of his issues went away. So just a big tip, if you are playing with them, make sure you set that properly. So you make sure you get 10 like that, and then 32 when it's like this, and you're all good. Take this piece off. Okay, so I think that's going to be it, guys. I have the engine in there. It's all looking really nice. I should have just pulled the bottom moustache bar from down the bottom and given it a paint, but it's in there. You don't really see it, but I will probably pull it out soon and paint it up so it looks a bit nicer. I have both of the manifolds on. The driver's side, or the right hand side of the engine, is all bolted down perfectly. The left hand side, I have to put a little bung in it. So running the boosted brakes I have in the car, I need to run vacuum from the brakes to the engine, or vice versa. And so I'll have to, next episode I'm going to pull that manifold off. It's just sitting on there. I'm going to drill a hole in it, tap it, put a bit of an elbow on there so I can run the vacuum. So once I do that, once I get that carby and that bung welded on, I can bolt all that down, get these carbys on there, and then start getting into everything else. But I think that's going to do for this episode, guys. I'm really happy with where we got to. Those carbys went together really well. Other than, I don't know if you saw, but I was putting the float bowl in top of one of the top hats, and I snapped a little leg off where the float goes on. So I ended up having a spare one, which I'm still annoyed about because I didn't want to break it. Well, not that you really want to break anything. And so that's what happened there. But I'm pretty happy with where we're at. So hopefully next episode we can get it all up and running. That'll be out next fortnight. Let us know what you thought, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.